cousins to Chris. I just wanted to put together a small tribute for him, just because I know a lot of people were impacted by him, just by him being in their lives, and I just wanted to have a place where everyone could share how he touched their lives. Um, he was an awesome person and he would greatly be missed. And I just wanted to share this with everyone. Thank you so much.
My son Chris, I love and will miss you. Your life meant to me, not just surviving the storm, but it's dancing in the rain. All glory to God. Your life was filled with so many different types of storms, and you had a different dance for each one. It filled life with meaning and value. I hope people see their purpose in life as the joy of dancing as opposed to just trying to survive.
Christopher Alexander Walker. Not a unique name, as you found out at school and in the hospitals and at pharmacies. The name wasn't unique, but you were completely unique and special and precious to us. Your life was full of challenges and illness and pain. You chose to be an aperture of light through which you poured love and goodness and positivity into the world. And the people around you wondered how you did that. We wondered at the many amazing gifts that you so freely shared with everyone. And you were always noticing a need and figuring out how to fill it. And you collected friends like a magnet. You were a Pied Piper for the youth. And you were a gift to all of us because of the way you managed to touch our hearts. And we couldn't help but love you for your sense of fun and wonder and joy. Every day you chose joy. You called me Ms. Martha and told people I was your white mom. And I considered you my son. Rest well, Padawan. You're going to be busy and pain-free when the Lord wakes you up. Until then, I miss you and I love you.
Hey, I didn't know Chris very well, but I met him when I was in Richmond visiting a friend, and he was one of Desmond's really, really good friends from a Bible study, and just a real stand-up guy, and always had a good laugh to share, and like over the years I got to know him a little bit more because we're part of a group called Nerdum Nation, and he would always bring up the nerdy stuff, and it was in that that I had posted a thing about a friend needing a cell phone, an iPhone, an old iPhone, because he's an orphanage director in Ethiopia and didn't have a lot of resources, and Chris jumped right in and was really wanting to help in any way that he could, and then wanted to, on top of that, stuff the boxes full of of anything for the kids. He asked, everything about the demographics of the kids, and he was going to be as involved as he could. He called around for it, and he jumped right on board for it, and it was so cool to see, and yeah, I really appreciated that about him. You could tell how big his heart was, and we're really going to miss seeing his name pop up.
Hi everyone. This is it's not gonna be easy, so I'll just get right to it. But first, let me extend my condolences to the family members, friends, Pathfinder community, SDA Church that was close to Chris Walker. It took a lot to try to find the words. So I'm kind of just flying off the cuff here. So, but Chris, you are loved by so many. It's evident. You are such a good person, such a good attitude, an angel on this earth indeed, and you will be sorely missed. Love you, man.
Hey Chris, it's Rebecca. It hurts to know that I will never share another laugh with you. But when I remember the sleepless lock-ins at Meadowbridge, or the prank-filled camp meetings, or the endless laughs we shared at Pathfinders, a huge smile can't help but find its way to my face. You were always full of adventure and joy. Even when you were experiencing excruciating physical pain, you still always seemed to be able to find a way to crack a joke and bring a smile to those around you. I know that even though this may seem like the end, this is just the beginning of the next adventure for you. And while your many friends and family that you have left behind are hurting, it brings me some comfort to know that you are no longer in pain. I will miss you, and I will always smile when I think of you, which will be often. I'm so glad that I got to share some of this life with you. May you rest in peace.
So Chris and I knew each other since we were teenagers in the church, and I had just the greatest memories where we would show up, and after church we would hang out. It was us and a few cousins and friends, and we would go over each other's houses and just kind of laugh and just have a good time. Chris was always the kind of the goof in the group. He was always kind of getting himself into a little bit of fun trouble, and always knew how to laugh at himself and had this really contagious laugh. One of the things that I think really stands out to me and has stood out to me in thinking about Chris was his positivity and his appetite to continue to move forward in life and experience new things. He never stopped having goals. He never stopped dreaming. He never stopped creating new relationships with different types of people and new friendships. Really wanted to make an impact in people's lives and just really spread positivity in spite of everything. And it's really inspiring, having known Chris all these years, being able to watch that and learn from that, most importantly.
I'd like to share a memory of Chris. This was maybe 15 years ago. Chris would come over my house on the weekends, along with other friends, Jay, TJ, and my mother would make these fried pancakes or fried dough balls that we would just eat with cheese and powdered sugar and jelly and whatnot. And Chris used to love those things. I mean, he would just down like 10, 15 of them at a time. And we used to just laugh and make jokes and really not take life seriously. But what really struck me was his laughter. It was so contagious, and I can still hear it in my head today, even after 15 years or so. I can still hear it. It's a good memory. Rest in peace, my friend.
There are so many wonderful things that I could say about Chris. I have so many fond memories tucked away from childhood, from growing up together, from Sabbath afternoons and camp meeting, adventures, shenanigans, and definitely lots of Pathfinder, camporees, and camping trips, and just Wednesday nights at Meadow Bridge. So many good times together. Chris was always up for a laugh and an adventure, and just knew how to make you feel good and feel good about yourself. I know he has touched so many people's lives and will be remembered in more ways than I could ever say. Until we meet again, Chris.
I met Chris in 2014. I had just started coming back to church, and the first time I met him was in the hospital, and I went to visit him, and he was amazing. We talked for a long time, and through the years he was in and out of the hospital, I would go and sit with him 2 or 3 times a week, and we would have good conversations for those first couple years. And he really taught me that it's okay to have things happen in your life, and that you can get through anything. And he had such an amazing outlook on life. He loved the Lord, he loved kids, he loved people. He loved people around him. He had expressed that the more people around him, the more comfortable he is. So a group of us from the young adults arranged to be there and visit him one day. And I think we overwhelmed the hospital staff that day. I think that was the biggest, fondest memory I have of him being so happy to have all those people come and see him. He would get lonely. So a few of us would make sure we go and see him. His dear friend Michael, I met through him and have become friends with their family. He would go and see Chris quite regularly and cheer him up because he knew how much Chris liked the company. We had a lot of fun with Chris sometimes in those moments. And he will be truly missed. And I love him a lot, and it's going to be hard knowing that he's not there, that I can call or text and reach out to. So to his family, he was an amazing man. You were blessed for the years that you had him. But we will see him again in Christ because he believed in God, and I truly believe he'll be in heaven, and that I will see him one day, and I will miss him.
I remember Chris being such a kind person. He was always helping people. He was always trying to make people smile. He was always smiling. I remember he would always say hi to me, even if we were just passing in the hallways. And he was just a really great person.
Hey everyone, my name is Rob, and I had the opportunity to know Chris and hang out with him at different Potomac events. We went to the same academy as well at Shenandoah, and it was just a blessing at those events. We kind of would hang out with some of the same friends, and I think the biggest impact that Chris had on my life was watching how he lived his life with passion and energy, and never seemed to let anything get him down. I'm sure things did get him down, but he never seemed to let on to any of that. He was always ready, always excited, always energetic, always loving, always kind. And I hope that I and maybe all of you can honor his life by trying to live a little bit like that every single day, not letting the things that would get you down, and continuing to be passionate and energetic and loving towards all. Thank you.
I've been losing touch with the world around me. Stay afloat in this ocean like I'm drowning. I was lost in myself, then you found me. Nowadays I can feel you all around me. Take me back to when I didn't know about it all. Take me back to when I didn't care about a fall. Feeling weightless, I know who to call. Your name is love. Countless lies involved. In my mind, in my head, think I hit a wall. Take me back to the days I didn't care at all. When I feel like I don't have a way out, screaming way loud. I think it's time to pray now. You say listen what I say now. Hard to look ahead, yeah, with your face down. In my lane, cause I'm running in my race now. Thought that life was crazy, yeah, it's gone insane now. Picking up the pieces of my heart, put them back in place.
Hello, Lauren here. I would like to give my condolences to the family and friends of Christopher Walker. I found out that he had the disease, and I know that he was battling with it really hard. It came as a surprise to me, and I'm sure everybody else. When he passed, I just wanted to say that he lost that battle, but the battle belongs to the Lord, and we're all going to see him soon, one day, when Jesus comes back to get us all. I was really shocked to find out, and I didn't really know Christopher that well, but I do remember his smile. I do remember him being a really kind person to everybody that he came across. He was never towards me or anyone. But God bless, and we'll see him again one day. Bye.
Adrian. Me and Chris, we knew each other through high school. We basically came in to Shenandoah Valley together our freshman year, and we always had a friendship. We didn't really start building a bond until after high school, probably like years after, when we both started getting into photography. We would always bounce ideas off of each other's heads, and we would always give each other good advice. And he was probably the one person that I didn't expect to be so supportive in what I do, and I will forever be grateful for that. And that's a memory that I will cherish forever.
I didn't know Chris very well. I can't pretend that I hung out with him more than one time, with him and Kellen Jones, and it was such a cool time. I had gone back from Chicago to Virginia, I think it was a year after graduation, or something like that, just to, kind of see the school again. And Chris came with us, and he was driving us around, and we were just, I think we went to like Denny's. And what impacted me from that hangout time that we had together was just his outlook in life, how positive, how happy he was. I remember him laughing, and I remember him just smiling and having just a positive vibe around him, and it was just contagious. And I remember that trip so clearly, not just because I got to hang out with friends, but just the overall beautiful look that he had in life was palpable from the short time that we spent together. And I'm going to miss him, because even though I didn't know him very well, it was just one of those people that remain in your mind and in your memories. And he was a beautiful soul. Hopefully we can all learn a little bit from him and be positive as well.
I'm sorry, we didn't really get to say goodbye. We didn't really even expect to say goodbye. And I guess this is goodbye for now. I remember you as a fearless fighter, your positivity, your infectious laugh, your intelligence. From our time in high school, I'll always remember after you ended up breaking your hip and practicing wheelies in your wheelchair and doing pranks from your wheelchair. We had a lot of fun, and it wouldn't have been the same without you. I remember everybody knew you. Everyone that you met, there's a positive impression that was left behind. And I remember visiting you in the hospital, one of the many times, I'm sure. That was at MCV, and you were in the hospital, and it was, you rebounded. It was like we didn't even know how bad it was for you. I'll always remember you as someone who had a listening ear for everybody. You always took the time to make people feel like it was just them in the room, just you and them. I wish I could introduce you to our children. I wish we could laugh again. And I wish that we would see each other at the next reunion for high school, or just coming back to Richmond. It turns my stomach to know that you're not here, and I guess this is goodbye for now. I love you, man.
Chris was an amazingly positive person. No matter what he was going through, what you were going through, you could have a conversation with Chris and you would leave it smiling, because his smile was absolutely contagious. And if most people met Chris, the one thing they would remember about him would be his smile.
What I remember of Chris was that he was always very happy and positive, and that really left an impression on me, because just as a foreign student, and not really knowing anyone and being so intimidated, I distinctly remember how warm and welcoming he was, and how positive he would. And it really stuck out to me because I remember seeing him walking around campus on crutches and being taken aback by his insistent positive attitude, but also I always admired it. Even from afar, I always thought, wow, I remember like years later seeing him on social media, seeing pictures, and still marveling at the fact that he still seemed to radiate this optimism and this positivity. And for me, it was always so inspiring, and that's how I that's how I always remember him. That's how I always saw him since day one. And just also being very grateful that he was one of the few people that seemed to genuinely welcome me in my first experience in the U.S., living in the U.S. He was one of the few people that just unabashedly welcomed me without question. And I thought he was just a remarkable person for that. And I still think that he was a remarkable person, just the fact that he continued to be that way. And to his family and to my friend Christina, I'm praying for you all, for his family, and Christina included, of course. And I hope for comfort to all of his friends and family, and that you remember the good things and all of the positivity that he left behind. And that he was someone that you knew and loved dearly, that you could all be proud of.
Hi, my name is Jessica. Chris and I attended the same high school, Shenandoah Valley Academy. When I think of Chris, I think of his infectious optimism and smile. He was one of the first people who introduced themselves to me when I arrived to boarding school. I feel like he was just always laughing, high-fiving people, or giving people pats on the back. Like a lot of people, high school wasn't always a good time for me. There were a lot of bad days, good days too, but I feel like especially on bad days, I remember Chris just being placed wherever I was, whether it was like in the gym or just passing each other on campus, and he would always just go out of his way to just say something nice or smile or make me laugh. And I don't think he knew how much that helped me, but it's his personality and outlook that I will remember and that I want to celebrate.
Hello, Walker family. This is from the DeShazer family. Myself, Miss D, Desmond, Marcus, and Morris would like to offer our condolences to you in the loss of Chris. I remember Chris at SVA. He was a very nice and kind young man. He showed forth the character of Christ in everything he did. When I saw him, he was a really friendly young man. I followed him on Facebook when he was showing the pictures when he was sick, and I made a comment every now and then. But I want you to know that Chris was really loved by us as well as others at SVA. I know he will be missed, but we would like to let you know that we will keep you in prayer, and that remember that the Word of God says, "Blessed is he who dieth in the Lord." So Chris was truly a Christian, and he showed forth the character of Christ.
Hi, this is Des, and I want to give my condolences to the Walker family, Mr. Walker and Jay Yakiti, and your mother, Miss Walker. Well, I'm gonna say brother, sister Walker, cause y'all brother and sister in Christ. So y'all keep on keeping on, hold on to God's unchanging hand.
When Chris was here, he was such a blessing. Always had a smile on his face. I was the nurse at that time and had to give him painful injections, but he would say, "It's okay, Miss Harley, just let me have it." He was also had a wonderful attitude. Also, as the task force dean when he was here, the boys respected him, the staff loved him, and when I would see him, he would always be very uplifting and just a real pleasure to be around. We'll miss him on this earth, hope to see him in heaven, and my sympathy and prayers go out to family and friends.
Hi, my name is Marie, SVA class of 2004. I first met Chris when I transferred to the school my sophomore year. He was one of the first friends I made there, and all my memories of him are positive, with him always trying to make you smile or laugh, especially if you were having a bad day. And he really didn't care if he was having a bad day. If a friend needed him, he was there for them. I was pleased to hear that he turned out to be such a good, strong man, because he had been a stronger than he knew young man while we were at school. I'm very sorry for this loss to his family and loved ones, and I'm praying for you all. And thank you for reaching out to me, for being part of this. I appreciate that. God bless.
I had the opportunity to work as a task force chaplain at Shenandoah Valley Academy. I think it was Christopher's sophomore year when I first got there. I met him and I was taken back by how sweet and innocent this little guy was. I was 6'4", he was 5 foot something, and so it just felt like, oh, what a cool little guy. And then I realized that he was not just sweet and innocent. He was feisty and playful and stubborn and all the things that I think he needed to fight through some of the barriers that were placed upon him from an early age. And so it's been cool over the years to connect just a little bit here and there via social media, not nearly enough, but to see him become more independent and seemingly more confident and just be a battler and a survivor and a fighter. And so I was obviously, like many people, very surprised and saddened by what happened, but praying for peace for Chris's family, and that beautiful hope of things improving one day and perfection coming to us in eternity, and seeing Chris again in a new body and with that same stubborn, sweet spirit that many of us came to know over the years.
19 years ago, God called me from his own country of Australia and sent me across to this foreign country known as the United States of America. And he placed me in this location called Shenandoah Valley Academy. And there I was as a volunteer, and I met this freshman known as Christopher Walker. Christopher Walker always had this smile on his face,
this cheeky grin, always making jokes, but such a joy and positive outlook, even in spite of the health challenges that he was struggling with then. I remember one evening he comes in and he's just burning up with temperature, but it would not, even situations like this, it would not break his spirit. Who, as a freshman, would have the courage to be able to go and to ask this beautiful blonde senior to the banquet? Well, Chris would. Christopher Walker. What a joy and a blessing it was to get to know him, as brief as that time was. And I was excited to see, as I connected with him on Facebook and seeing the way that he was still impacting people's lives. And it was a joy to even see when he was there helping out at the World Camporee as well. So now, as our brother and our mate rests and sleeps in the Lord, my prayers and thoughts go to all of you, family and friends that grieve and mourn Chris's loss. But we look forward to that glorious day when we will see Chris again, when Jesus comes back and calls him forth and he gets this new body that will never fail on him. Until then, I look forward to meeting him and experiencing those cheeky jokes that he would play. God bless you, and may God be with you all.
Hey, this is Pastor Harley at Shenandoah Valley Academy, and I wanted to remember Chris as someone who was a great student, very enthusiastic and involved in spiritual things while he was a student, and also as a task force dean. He was very helpful on the side with me in campus ministries, and I really appreciated his involvement. He will be missed greatly. Was a wonderful young man.
I'm grateful for the opportunity I had to teach Chris at SVA. He was a young man who brought sunshine wherever he went. Rest in peace, Chris. See you in heaven.
might give. Dig in, Chris.
Are you gotta be a certain color? You gotta do it like a kid. And then I have to cough. If I don't cough,
Say hallelujah. Girl, say hallelujah. Cause uptown funk don't give it to you. Cause uptown funk don't give it to you. Cause uptown funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Get the stretch. We show up, we gon' show up. Smoother than a fresh dog skipping.
That's
I'm
me.
gonna hug you.
Logan, go ahead. I'm still gonna eat them.
Here, Logan. Not for you.
Hey. Civilized, please. Civilized.
What is this? I don't even know what I'm grabbing. Logan. Popcorn. Not for you.
Get ready.
I have thought ridiculously hard for the past week and a bit as to what I could say about Chris. I worked with Chris at Milo about nine years ago. And Chris was one of the most amazing, kind, compassionate, and loving individuals. There was never any judgment that came from him about anything ever, unless you completely burned everything in the kitchen. And even then, I think he would still try and salvage it. I have so many memories of Chris where I was so looking forward to getting together and meeting his girlfriend and spending time with friends and people we knew, just being really nerdy and learning more to love people. It's definitely taken too soon, and definitely has empowered me as a person to be better and grow more and love people hard. And there was never not one moment in which he didn't have an open door to any friend, whether that was our fellow staff or our students. He was there to listen and to care with a non-judgmental stance, and to show the people around him how much he truly cared about them, and he definitely made everyone feel like a somebody. The world's a little less bright without Chris. But rest easy, friend.
Hi, my name is Isiana, and I first met Chris when I was 10.
We had been traveling together with my aunt to Oshkosh, Wisconsin because there was a Pathfinder event going on. I had so much fun with him. There was a time when we were in Chicago, I believe, and we rolled down the windows and sang Let It Go at the top of our lungs. While we were in Chicago, we stopped at a gas station that had a souvenir side. I had found the silver snow globe, and it was the last silver one. I forget how, but somehow I dropped it, and since it was glass, it shattered. I was so sad and started to cry, and Chris was there to comfort me and telling me that everything was okay. My aunt said that I could get another one, but I didn't want to because the rest were pink, and I was not a huge fan of pink. I ended up getting it anyway, and Chris convinced me that the pink one was cool. And also, he cleaned the glass off, the broken glass off from the silver one and gave me just like the bottom piece. And that made me really happy. After Oshkosh, we kept in touch, and whenever we would be at a camporee, we would try to meet up. Chris was like a brother to me. He was such a kind-hearted person. And it was so amazing, and it so breaks my heart knowing that he's gone. But I know that he is with God and smiling down on us. One of the things that he also did when I knew him, when we first were starting to know each other, was he decided that he wanted to give me a nickname. One of the ones he suggested was Queen, and that he would say my queen and bow down to me every time he would call me that. And since I was like 10, I was thrilled at the idea. But for some reason, he ended up just calling me baby girl. He was the only one I'd let call me that, because if someone else called me it, it didn't seem right.
Hi, this is Aunt Cindy. God bless Chris. Chris was that guy. We loved him. Inside and out. He was true and true. He gave you whatever you needed. A laugh, a talk, a smile. He was just that guy. God bless him always. Ooh, that's a fly. Uncle Arnett loved him. Tyler, Arnett III. We love you, Chris. Sleep well. Take care. Bye-bye.
There are three words that come to mind when I think of our dear friend and loved one, Chris. Freedom, authenticity, and laughter. An experience that rolled all three of those in one was going to a grocery store with Chris. And if you know those high notes that he can sing, for the first time I heard it, he was singing it at the top of his lungs. He did not care who was looking at him. And I just remembered this release of laughter, and just, you couldn't help but join in. So here are two folios just walking through this grocery store, just singing at the top of their lungs. And Chris had a way of just making any environment full of freedom for you to be who you wanted to be, who you needed to be in this moment. Sir Topher, you're going to be so missed. You left such impact on this world. Life, light, and love. And I can't wait to see you again. Love, Lady Lou.
It feels really strange to be talking today about Chris in the past tense. When I think about him, I think of someone with a really big smile, a big heart, and someone who's such a sweetheart. I've known Chris since he was about 7 or 8 years old, and he always had a positive spirit. He was always very positive in spite of anything that was going on in his life or with his health. And when I had visited him, he always would cheer me up when I'd go to the hospital to see him. He always had something funny or positive to say that would help me when I was trying to come and cheer him up. And we always had a lot of fun adventures, going skiing. I remember he had gotten a van for all of us to go skiing together. camping to being getting our get-togethers for Friendsgiving or our Christmas time get-togethers, and many other outings and parties that we had together. I'll always remember his sweet spirit, and I look forward to when we'll be able to see him again in heaven.
Chris, when we met on the phone, we both liked what we heard. Then we met in person, and we probably both wondered, what in the world had we gotten ourselves into? And then I saw you connect with people. More specifically, I saw you connect with students. You loved them. Everything they did, you wanted to be involved in. If there was a gathering of some sort, you were there. Didn't matter who else was there, but Dean Chris was always there. You lived life to the fullest, probably more fully than almost anyone else I know. You loved people, you loved food, you loved trying to pull pranks, though you could never keep your face straight. I just think ahead, Chris. Next time you wake up, there's going to be a lot of people wanting to get in touch with you, wanting to talk like they always did. So rest well, Chris. Rest well. I'll see you in the morning.
Chris and I had a running discussion about personality tests. He thought they were fascinating, but he didn't want to be pigeonholed. And he used to get very upset when the personality test that he took pointed out things about him. And my favorite personality test, I don't remember which test it was, but when it's talking about his personality, it says, is very good with animals and small children. And he was trying to argue with me, oh, Miss Michelle, that's not saying anything about me. I said, Chris, animals and small children? No, I said, okay, let's take you into a room where there's small children and animals, and you tell me how long you're going to stay away from them or they're going to stay away from you. He couldn't argue with me. We loved having him as part of our family, knowing him for the last 9 years, and we miss him dreadfully.
Everyone that knew Chris knows how strong and selfless and loving he was. But I think the thing that truly made him special was the fact that he was so genuine. And I think his authenticity is what really set him apart, and it allowed everyone that came in contact with him to be their true, authentic selves. I know I, for one, he introduced me to that person without the facade, without trying to be who I thought everyone wanted me to be, without the masks I wore. He showed me who the authentic me was, and he taught me how to love myself because he loved that version of me. I'd give anything to have more time, but that's not the way Chris lived his life. He never wished for anything more than what he had in today. He taught me how to be happy with today, how to find joy in every moment. And so instead of wishing for the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, I am just so incredibly thankful for every day, every minute, and every second I got to be with him. Chris, I love you so much.
Chris, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for always showing Jesus to others, for always seeing the happier side of life. Even when things just seem to be going wrong, no matter what we were doing, you always had a ray of sunshine. You always could see a brighter side. I just want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for the opportunity to work by your side in the ministry of the TLT program within the Pathfinder ministry. I just want to thank you also for always allowing your faith to be on fire like Esther, for always standing forever faithful like Daniel, and always using your talents for God's glory because you know that He chose you like He chose David. We will continue to carry that torch on, and I can't wait to meet you in heaven where we will live eternity with our Savior Jesus Christ.
you.